Good morning, sixth grade. I'm here in my backyard up on the kids' tree stand that we call it. I said I'd give you a tour of my backyard sometime. So before we get started on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, this is the backyard. Back there's the basketball hoop. We have a slack line. This is the zip line right here going around to the pool. I am so thankful that God has given us this house and this backyard and this pool during this time. I hope you guys are finding a way to get outside even if you don't have a big backyard. But now on to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It is the first book that C.S. Lewis wrote for the Chronicles of Narnia series. But if you go in order of when the events happened, it's actually the second book. After he had finished the series, C.S. Lewis added The Magician's Nephew, which tells about the professor. He is the magician's nephew and gives a little background. It's a prequel. But The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is the first one that he wrote. The book begins in London, and the backstory there is that there are 4 children: Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. That's in order of age. Peter's the oldest. Susan, Edmund, Lucy. They are 4 siblings who live in London during World War II. And if you remember from our talks about World War II during Refugee, the Germans were bombing London constantly every night, and a lot of parents would send their children out of London to families in the countryside to keep them safe from the bombings. And this is what happened with Peter, Edmund, Lucy, and Susan. They went to live with a professor in the countryside, and that is where the book begins. If you have watched the movie actually begins with footage to add excitement and drama of the bombings in London when they are still with their mom. Their dad is off fighting in the war. All of this is not in the book, what you see at the beginning of the movie, but that is what C.S. Lewis, the background that he was working with. And they go to live with the professor, and they find the wardrobe that takes them to Narnia. Already in chapters 1 and 2 that you will hear today is a dynamic character. Remember that a dynamic character is one who makes a change. And we're going to meet someone named Mr. Tumnus, who in just a short time does make a change. So make sure you are listening for that as you are listening along. If you have a copy of the book and you're following along, then just know that this is a dramatized version. So that means it is not exactly word for word, especially chapter 1 jumps around a lot in the audiobook. But chapter 2 pretty much is word for word if you want to pick up there with the book. And I put a link online on the website page that will give you a copy of the book if you would like to follow along. Have a good morning. Enjoy listening. Bye, guys.